Imagine a mountain climber, halfway up a colossal, unforgiving peak. The air is thin, her muscles are burning, and every inch of progress is a battle. Now, if I asked you what she's thinking about, what would you say? Most of us would assume her mind is locked on the summit. That glorious, triumphant moment of standing on top of the world. We picture her fueled by that single ultimate vision. But what if I told you that's not it at all? What if, in that moment, she isn't thinking about the peak? What if she's only thinking about the next solid handhold? About the precise placement of her left foot? About the rhythm of her own breathing? Because in the most extreme environments, masters of their craft know a secret that the rest of us often forget. Obsessing over the destination is a luxury you can't afford. It's a distraction. The only thing that truly matters is the very next step. We live in a world that glorifies the finish line. We celebrate the champion on the podium, the chief executive officer in the corner office, the author with the bestseller. We see the victory, the outcome, the prize. And so, we model our own lives after this highlight reel. We set massive distant goals, and we tie our entire sense of self-worth to reaching them. I will be happy when I lose 50 pounds. My life will be complete when I get that promotion. I'll feel successful once I launch my business. We stare so hard at the summit that we barely notice the mountain we have to climb. And more often than not, we end up paralyzed at the bottom, overwhelmed by the sheer distance between where we are and where we want to be. This is the great paradox of ambition. Our intense focus on the final goal is precisely what prevents us from ever reaching it. We get stuck in a cycle of grand planning and minimal action because the outcome feels too big, too abstract, and too far away. So today we're going to explore a radical yet profoundly simple shift in perspective, a philosophy embraced by artisans, athletes, and ancient Stoics alike. The idea that the secret to achieving extraordinary things lies not in focusing on the outcome, but in falling in love with the process. It's about trading the anxiety of the destination for the quiet satisfaction of the journey, one single step at a time. The human brain is wired for reward. When we accomplish something, we get a little hit of a neurotransmitter called dopamine. It's that feeling of satisfaction, of job well done. Our goal-obsessed culture has hacked this system, but in a way that often works against us. When you set a huge, long-term goal, like run a marathon next year, your brain gives you an initial, exciting spike of dopamine, just from the idea. It feels good to commit to something so impressive. But then what happens? The marathon is a year away. The immediate, rewarding feeling fades, and you're left with the daunting reality of months of training. The finish line is so distant that it provides no regular reinforcing dopamine hits. Motivation plummets. This is the dopamine crash. You're left with a huge motivation debt. The initial excitement has been spent, and now you have to do the actual work without that neurological reward. This is why so many New Year's resolutions fail by February. The goal is the reward, and once the thrill of setting it is gone, the daily grind feels like punishment. Now let's contrast this with a process-oriented approach. Instead of run a marathon, your focus becomes put on my running shoes and go outside for 15 minutes today. That's it. It's a small, manageable, almost trivial task. But when you do it, your brain delivers a small, genuine hit of dopamine. You successfully completed what you set out to do. You get a reward. Tomorrow, the process is the same. Run for 15 minutes. You do it again. Another hit. You are building a chain of success, a positive feedback loop. Each day you are not failing to reach the marathon. You are succeeding at completing the process. The focus isn't on the distant, abstract victory. It's on the immediate, tangible action. You're not trying to conquer a mountain in a day. You are simply taking the next right step. This approach keeps your motivation stable and consistent. You're no longer riding a roller coaster of initial euphoria followed by a long, slow slog. Instead, you're building momentum, brick by brick, day by day. The beautiful irony is that this relentless focus on the daily process is what makes achieving the marathon not only possible, but almost inevitable. You look up one day and realize you've been running for months, not because you were forcing yourself to, but because you learned to find satisfaction in the simple act of showing up. You mastered the process, and the outcome took care of itself. Think of a master carpenter in their workshop. The room smells of sawdust and wood varnish. Light streams in through a dusty window, illuminating the air with dancing particles. The carpenter is not frantically assembling a chair, her mind fixated on the final product sitting in a dining room. No. Her entire world has shrunk to a single point of focus. Her attention is on the piece of oak in front of her. She's feeling the grain of the wood under her calloused fingers. She's listening to the crisp whisper of her handplane as it shaves off a paper-thin curl of wood. Her focus is absolute, but it's on the asterisk doing. It's on the quality of this specific cut. It's on the precise angle of this joint. The joy, the challenge, the fulfillment. It all exists in that present moment of creation. The finished chair is a byproduct. It is the natural, inevitable result of thousands of these perfectly executed mindful moments. If she were obsessed with the final chair, she might rush. She might cut a corner here, or accept a slightly imperfect joint there, all in a hurry to see the finished product. And the result would be a weaker, less beautiful chair. Her greatness is not defined by the chairs she has made, but by her devotion to the process of making them. This is the craftsman's mindset. It's about finding meaning not in the destination, but in the deliberate, skillful execution of the task at hand. When you write, don't focus on the finished novel. Focus on crafting one true sentence. When you learn an instrument, don't dream of the concert hall. Focus on playing one scale perfectly. When you build a business, don't fixate on the billion-dollar valuation. Focus on making one customer genuinely happy. By pouring your energy into the quality of your daily actions, you ensure the quality of the final result. Excellence becomes a habit, not a goal. It becomes the standard for how you do things, and that standard naturally produces exceptional outcomes. The process becomes the prize. This mindset is the ultimate tool for deconstructing the impossible. Big goals are terrifying. Start a successful company is a goal so massive it induces paralysis. Where do you even begin? The weight of the words, successful company, can crush you before you've taken a single step. But what if we applied the craftsman's mindset? What if we broke it down? The process of building a company isn't one giant action. It's 1,000 small ones. The process is, spend 1 hour researching the market today. The process is, draft a 1-page business plan. The process is, call one potential customer and ask them about their problems. Each of these is a concrete action. It's a single swing of the hammer, a single pass of the plan. You're not trying to build a cathedral, you're just trying to lay one brick perfectly. When you focus on laying that one brick, the fear vanishes. It's a manageable task. You can do that. And when you've done it, you get that small but crucial sense of accomplishment. You won the day. And if you win enough days, you build a cathedral. This approach detaches your daily success from the unpredictable chaos of the outside world. Your goal for the day was to call one potential customer. Did you make the call? Yes. Then you were 100% successful. Regardless of the outcome, it doesn't matter if the customer was interested or not. It doesn't matter if they loved your idea or hated it. You executed the process, you laid the brick. The outcome is just data. It's feedback you can use to adjust your process for tomorrow. Maybe you need to refine your pitch or target a different kind of customer. The outcome informs the next step. It doesn't define your success for the day. This brings us to perhaps the most liberating aspect of focusing on the process. It completely redefines failure. In the outcome-obsessed world, failure is a final verdict. You didn't get the job, the business didn't succeed, you didn't hit your sales target. This feels absolute, it feels personal. It's a judgment on your worth. But in a process-oriented world, this kind of failure barely exists. If your goal each day is simply to engage in the process, to show up, to do the work, to take the next step, then the only way to truly fail is to not try at all. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood this profoundly. They made a distinction between what is in our control and what is not. You cannot control the outcome of a job interview. You can't control the interviewer's mood or the other candidates' qualifications. But you can control how well you prepare. You can control how you present yourself. You can control the effort you put in. Therefore, a Stoic would say that your goal shouldn't be to get the job. Your goal should be to give the best interview I am capable of giving. If you do that, you have succeeded, completely and utterly, regardless of whether you get a job offer. The external outcome is irrelevant to your internal victory. Letting go of the outcome isn't about lowering your standards or abandoning ambition. It's about placing your ambition in the right place, on your own actions, on your own effort, on your own character. It's about understanding that the world is unpredictable, but your commitment to the process can be absolute. When you live this way, you become anti-fragile. Failure is no longer a crushing blow to your ego. It's simply a new piece of information that helps you refine your process. You become a scientist in the laboratory of your own life, constantly experimenting, learning, and adjusting, free from the crippling fear of the final verdict. So, we return to our climber on the face of the mountain. She is not fueled by a distant dream of the summit. She is fueled by a deep, abiding respect for the mountain and for the process of climbing it. Her victory isn't waiting for her at the peak. Her victory is happening right now, in this moment. It is in the careful, deliberate placement of her hand. It is in the control of her breath. It is in her absolute, undivided focus on the task in front of her. She knows that the summit is just a collection of thousands of these successful moments. Stop looking at the mountain and start looking at the ground beneath your feet. What is the one small, simple, concrete action you can take right now? Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Maybe it's putting on your running shoes. Maybe it's opening a blank document. Maybe it's writing a single email. Whatever it is, make that your entire world. Pour all your focus and intention into executing that one small step with excellence. Then, when it's done, allow yourself that moment of satisfaction. You won. You successfully engaged in the process. Then, and only then, think about the next step. Your great life, your great work, your great achievement isn't waiting for you at some distant finish line. It is being built right now, in the quality of the step you are about to take.